It looks like Auburn is close to completing the running back room, and that comes with the addition of Christian Burnett. Christian Burnett is a preferred walk-on that Auburn just added at running back, or he's believed to be at running back. He's coming from Faith Academy, which is in Mobile, Alabama, and he played on the offense and defense side of the ball, although he prefers offense. With that preferred walk-on status, I do not see him being the starter, especially not initially when you're looking at our current running back room. But I think the addition of him to the team does kind of close out the spots for running back on Auburn's team. And so let's take a look at who is left in the running back room. And I don't want to speculate anything other than I'll tell you what I think, but I'm not going to make any speculations. I think the number one spot for me is pretty much done, but number two is a mystery for me, and I'll explain why in just a second. First, I think it's probably safe to say that Jarquez Hunter is going to be the starter. He's put in the time at Auburn. He's been there for 2 years, and while he's been there, he's shown that he is such a powerful and aggressive running back, and he just has the potential to make these huge plays out of nowhere, sometimes seemingly out of nothing, that I don't see how you can justify starting anybody over him. So Jarquez Hunter is easily the number one pick to start at running back. Behind him, we've got a couple of guys that I'm not sure about. I could argue for Damari Alston at the number 2 spot. He's been at Auburn for a year, so he knows the school. He knows a lot of the players who've been on the team. This is a new system that he's going to be under, new coaches. But Cadillac Williams is still there, so you've got to take that into account. But then aside from Damari Alston, you also have Brian Battie, who's played at USF. He brings quite a bit of experience, but he's a smaller back. So that's something that could be taken into account. But he does have that experience. Then you also have a lot of excitement between a new recruit, a new player coming to Auburn, Jeremiah Cobb. Could he be like a Jarquez Hunter? Jarquez Hunter shocked everybody when he came in his first year, his freshman year, and he had a really good opening season. So Jeremiah Cobb, there's a reason there's a lot of hype behind him. And I think he is the player that could surprise a lot of people. Even though people are already excited, I think he could surprise some people and turn some heads, just like Jarquez Hunter did during his first season. And then behind those guys, there are 2 more running backs that I don't think we'll see too much from. I think we'll see some playing time, but for the most part, I don't expect them to start or get any significant playing time. And that would be Sean Jackson, who's been at Auburn for a year. I think he was a redshirt freshman or a freshman last year. I believe he redshirted. And then you also have, as I mentioned at the start of this video, Christian Burnett. So we've got a pretty full running back room. I think the number 1 spot is sealed. It's done. But the number 2 position is what I want to watch. Is it Damari Alston's, or is somebody else going to come in and take that spot away? Could we see a Brian Battie? Could we see Jeremiah Cobb come in and just turn heads immediately? That, to me, is one of the things I want to watch, especially in the offseason. What do we see at A-Day? What do we see in practices? What are we hearing from what's happening over the summer? And then moving into fall camp, who is going to be gunning for that number 2 position? I think a lot of things will change, but I don't expect any additions to come in the running back room unless somebody decides to hop in the transfer portal in May, which could always happen. So you can't close that door. But if everything were to stay the same, I think we've got a good running back room, and I don't expect to see a lot of changes. But let's see what happens with that number 2 position. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel, hit like, and I'll see you in the next one.